All right, hello and welcome into Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast presented by Draftkings Sportsbook. This is Moose along with Harry Mays. And Harry, I think Danielle is going to be joining us via satellite, right? She's on location, if you will.
Well, yeah, she's down at the the epicenter of the golf world, really, the PGA merchandise show down in Orlando. I saw some of the footage on Golf Channel today. Our friends down at Makefield Putters had a little TV FaceTime and a bunch of other great companies, and it's like where everybody gets together outside of the PGA Tour events that are going on this week. This is where everybody's at. This is where all the manufacturers are, and showing off all the new stuff, and golfers love stuff.
Apparently all the clubs, they make the ball go straighter,
Yep.
longer,
more forgiving, and longer. Lower scores. They all promise lower scores.
Nothing to do with the swing itself. Man.
No,
it's that club.
No.
Yep. Hit it anywhere. Hit it on the hosel. Hit it on the handle.
Yeah, the new Callaway driver. It's unbelievable. I got to get it in my hand because I got to try it. But they show you where you can hit it basically anywhere on the face. They're putting all these dots. Yeah, you'll find a fairway. Beautiful.
Unbelievable. But, she's around the elite, though, Harry. I mean, the names in this chat, I'm with Brad Faxon. We're going to see Scotty Cameron. I'm like, It's just me and Harry. Like,
I know.
It's unbelievable.
Can you slum it for 10 minutes?
So,
it's cold down there, too. It's like in their low 60s, high 50s, I think. So she's probably going to have a parka on.
Yeah. I feel bad. But, hopefully we'll be able to add her here momentarily. But, right. Harry Mays, is it possible that the story of the year in golf already happened?
Yeah.
Because to me, with Nick Dunlap, the 20-year-old, not even a junior or a senior in college, sophomore at Alabama, gets his first PGA Tour victory by an amateur in 33 years since your friend Phil Mickelson, 1991 at the Tucson Open. Just an incredible story. All the stories within the story with Bezuidenhout and all that. Just incredible, Harry.
Yeah, that was just about the time that I first got really acquainted and into golf. Was right around the time when Phil Mickelson was at Arizona State and was playing in that Tucson Open, which is now, I think, on the Champions Tour. I think they go to Tucson, but it used to be a regular stop. Johnny Miller won there a bunch of times, which helped him get the nickname the Desert Fox. And, they'd give you that conquistador helmet as the trophy. And I can picture, Phil with that doofy grin on his face and that big helmet on his head. And here he is, he's like 19 years old, 20 years old, whatever he was. And it's like, man, this is the future of golf. And it ended up playing out where, he lived up to, that kind of billing, winning multiple, masters and majors. And, he's became a superstar and is now turned his legacy upside down in some ways. But man, this Dunlap kid, I thought going into the day on Sunday, I'm like, this has been a great story. But man, you got Sam Burns up there. You got JT in the chase. You got Xander Schauffele.
Oh, yeah.
And, is this guy going to crack? He's got to crack, right? I mean, and he didn't. I mean, he didn't play spectacular because he only made, 4 or 5 birdies. He had a double. He had a double on the 7th hole after hitting his tee shot into the water. And then he comes back on the next hole, which is a par 5, and made birdie. And you're thinking, man, he found his legs again. Like that. Yeah. That would be the spot where you'd implode and the whole round would go into the you-know-what. And it didn't. And he made 2 birdies on the back and a bunch of clutch pars on 17 and 18, while Sam Burns imploded in famous fashion. Sam Burns looked like me on 17 and 18 at my club, double, with a lot of stuff on the line. It was like, what?
A lot of water.
He became the amateur, hit the ball.
Exactly what you thought were going to happen to the amateur happened to the guy who just played in the Ryder Cup.
Yes, right? 2 straight water balls on 17 and 18. It's like he just totally, I think they mentioned it on the broadcast, he lost his swing. And it's amazing that it happens to that kind of player who's got 5 wins, whatever it is, on the PGA Tour. You mentioned played in the Ryder Cup, lost his swing playing against an amateur who's a sophomore in college.
Golf it's amazing too, right? Like he talked about it, right? It wasn't like he was playing against, world number 120. Like the top players in the game are are around him in his group.
Yeah.
The final group on Sunday. I mean, he shoots a 60 on the third round, right? And you're like, "Jeez!" And even JT said, "He said I thought I played pretty good, and I didn't expect the college kid."
And
to
that
shoot
was at
60.
La Quinta, which is the easiest of the 3 courses, but still, he took La Quinta to its knees, and he did what you're supposed to do: is shoot a really low number over there, and he did it.
Yep, he moves up 4,061 points in official world golf ranking, and it's interesting because he's the reigning U.S. champ. So he already had he was going to have a pretty sick year already. He was into the majors, I believe, including the Open. So he's withdrawn this weekend,
right?
And I mean,
he had a sponsor's exemption and withdrew, so he's still not a pro yet. He hasn't turned pro yet. But man, what would you do?
Oh, there's no brainer. Like you can go back and finish a couple of years of college if you want to.
Exactly.
But if your goal was to get here, you just fast tracked here. And who knows? Look at these injuries that happen. Right? Nothing is guaranteed.
Nope.
There's just no way. I mean,
and how about him playing with a guy he has looked up to that played at Alabama in Justin Thomas in his group, and JT has brought his game back. He had a couple of loose swings. Some crazy decisions and loose swings, but he still gets a T3. And, it's good to see him back. He also, I think, withdrew from this week, was going to play in this week, and now he's going to wait until Pebble Beach, which is an elevated event. But he's playing with an Alabama player and an LSU player, and Nick Saban is calling into the broadcast to talk about it.
Yeah, it was good to hear someone else talk instead of Brandel for a couple of minutes. Break it up a little bit. Actually, he wasn't terrible. I mean,
he wasn't.
Listen, there's not going to be anyone that's going to be more prepared than him. We know that.
Right.
But just, is he likable? Right? Is he relatable? Right? And that's where I think he misses a little bit. But and Burns falls down to T6.
Unreal
in the last 2 holes. But the funniest story is Bezuidenhout. He hits that was it 11-foot birdie, I think. Moves into solo second. He gets the prize money. And the funny part was, and Nick Dunlap admitted it, he thought he had a 2-shot lead. He didn't realize it. That's the caddy didn't tell him, didn't see the scoreboard. His approach for that last hole was, if he had a 2-shot lead, play it safe, go off to the right, don't mess with the water. Meanwhile, it probably helped him. If he had to be more, who knows what would have happened in that moment. Yeah,
he ended up sort of short right there in that little swale, and chipped it down there and made the putt for par, and gets the win. And your guy Bezuidenhout, man, I tell you, he played brilliantly too. And how about Berger and Zalatoris coming back from injury, making the cut, both of them? They finished 17 and 18 under respectively. So a decent showing. Like, I think you could see both of these guys take a sort of a giant leap forward now. As they're starting to get comfortable with not being injured anymore. It's like you have to work through that and be, trust it. And I think that happens pretty quickly for players of that caliber.
Yeah, and it's a different story, right? Working out at your house or at your training facility and then walking 4 straight days in a competitive golf tournament, right? Like it probably takes a couple times through that to really get your legs back under you. But good to see both of those guys who are great young talents, start to regain their strength for sure.
No doubt about it. Keith Mitchell, Kashmir Keith, with a final round 62. He got a top 10. I think he finished T9. And Scotty Scheffler, a ho-hum weekend for the world #1. He gets a T17. You didn't even really know he was in the tournament.
Crazy.
Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that was a hell of a Sunday finish. I mean, I was working that thumb on that remote button back and forth between football like crazy.
Yeah.
And you didn't expect it to some degree. I mean, you knew there were going to be some fireworks with Nick Dunlap leading it and the guys that he was playing against. But, man, that was exciting, and that was so cool to watch. Everything about it. The coverage was great on it, right? Showing his family, all
and
that.
The Alabama coach was there.
Yeah. Just tremendous. I think it's going to be hard to top that as the what's weird? I'm just let me check something. I was starting to log in the Draftkings just to confirm lines for today, and maybe it was just like a little glitch, I guess.
One other thing is you're not going to be able to get that on the Live Tour. Okay, that moment, that experience, and there's no amount of money, and I think you could give that kid that would take sort of replace what happened for him that weekend. Like, he doesn't get any prize money. His NIL money, if he decides to stay at Alabama, just went through the roof, and he'll get sponsors exemptions, and he'll get endorsements and all the rest of it. And he's going to be fine, even if he doesn't win another golf tournament in his life. But to have that experience on top of the U.S. Amateur, there's no advance money from a PIF fund that is going to be able to top that.
No. Not at all. Not at all. Tremendous stuff. Wait, let me see. It's funny. Danielle just texted us.
Oh, she did. Oh boy. Here we go. This is live. This is live podcasting, folks.
This is it.
If we're available tonight at 7:30 or 8.
All right. So maybe she'll be popping on. We'll see. But let's talk about some housekeeping items. We have our DraftKings contest. Remember, this will be out. If you're listening to it, we'll post it out on Wednesday night or Tuesday night. I'm sorry, because the tournament does start on Wednesday. So there are some spots because of that. So make sure you climb in. And the one and done pool kicks off. This is Harry Mays. This is golf season for you.
Yeah, it is. You know, some call me the golf pope, and it's a derogatory term, but I'll take it anyway. But the golf pope has always said that the golf season, the PGA Tour, starts this week at Torrey Pines. So that starts tomorrow, a day in advance, because they don't want to go up against the NFL Championship Sunday. They've been doing this now, I think, 2-3 years, and it's worked out beautifully. It's a great idea because, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when it's freezing cold in the Northeast, those nights are boring. Give me golf on it, at least the night earlier, and I could watch from 4 to 7 or whatever it ends up being. But yeah, that starts. We got a field of, I believe, 52 in the field, so about 6 or 7 more. That means more prize money. I'm going to dole that out probably for the majors, you know, give a little extra incentive for that. And then the DraftKings, I jumped in today, put in my team. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Moose has been on a roll on the first couple of weeks. Your Hawaii swing and into California has been pretty good.
I'm hovering, but I can't get into the money. Yeah.
Who got first and second? Because I missed last week. I know Coop was trying to mush you on day one.
Oh, he certainly did.
Because you were out to a great start. I know you loved Eric Cole, who kind of fell off on Sunday. But
Josh Otter again.
Josh Otter, wow.
Always. And Kevin, I don't know if that's Bloomfield. It might be Bloomfield. Kevin 11.
Oh, that's Bloomfield. Yes, it is. Yeah. And he's in the one and done too.
Yeah, those guys are always hovering around. And him, John Shelton, all those guys just signed up for the outing already. So
awesome. Where are we at with that? Yeah.
We are in great shape, and to the point where I'm going to cut off the contest at the end of January because we have a really good group of people, and I want to give people some good odds to win that trip to Casa de Campo. So if you are planning on joining us for the Fox Sports The Gambler Swing It and Ding It Open, benefiting the Magical Mila Foundation at the Legacy Club in Cherry Hill, do so before the end of January and be automatically registered for a trip for 2 to Casa de Campo.
Awesome.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What else do we have? What else do we have here?
Well,
tell me. Go ahead.
During that tournament, I don't know if you caught this. I think I tweeted it. Adam Schenk on the 16th hole, I believe it was, and he's hitting his second shot. And he goes a little bit wayward right up into those mounds with the dormant Bermuda, and his ball ends up in a vodka cranberry drink of a patron.
Unbelievable.
Did you see that?
I did. That was unbelievable. I mean, just tremendous.
And the guy played it off so cool. He was just like, yeah, man, here's the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in here, he said. I'm not going to take it out.
Now, I hope Adam Schenk got him a round of drinks for he and his buddies.
I'm sure he did.
But man, and it ended up being a vodka cranberry. I thought that was amazing. Hilarious. Yeah,
so good. So, talking to us about your experience at Lulu the other night.
Oh yeah, last Thursday we recorded a couple of teed off episodes, which are the last 6, 7, 8 minutes of Inside Golf. Which you can see on NBC Sports Philadelphia on a weekly basis. They rotate it around. Harry Donahue does a great job of hosting it. We had some great folks over there. The bar was packed. We were inside at Lulu, and it was jammed. I'm used to working with headphones, especially. It was like doing a remote, like an Eagles post game at a busy, raucous bar near the stadium, like at Xfinity Live or something. That was the environment.
That room is it carries the noise in there too.
Yes, and they got the 2 simulators in there, and they were rocking and rolling, and it was a great time. I think those episodes probably start airing this weekend.
Nice.
So it was really good. It was great.
Very
great
cool
stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. Let's see. I don't see Danielle yet. So I guess we'll just come back and roll right into the Farmers, the course, of course, see the line. And then if Danielle pops in, we'll just talk about her stuff.
Oh, yeah. And Rory won for the 4th time over in Dubai.
Oh, yeah. All right, coming back in. All right, welcome back to Swing It and Ding It as we look ahead to Harry May's start of the season for the Farmers Insurance Open. But your boy Rory, ho-hum 4th Dubai, whatever it's called, win.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 4 of those gigantic trophies that they give out. I saw they put out a picture. It was pretty cool. But, I mean, I hope he has a home over there. Because that guy, he spends the whole early part of the season over in that area playing all those tournaments, and he's always in the top, group, if not winning it. I mean, he should have real estate over there, and I'm sure he does probably. But man, I didn't get to watch much of that.
No,
but he did come back. He finished, of course, 2nd the week before to Tommy Fleetwood, but now he gets a win. So I'm curious if he's going to be joining the PGA Tour next week for the elevated event at Pebble Beach, or if he's waiting until the Genesis in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I
haven't really heard anything.
No, me either. Well, let's look ahead to the Farmers Insurance Open Wednesday to Saturday, as we talked about. 156 person field with the Friday cut, top 65 plus ties. Torrey Pines, Harry. Let's talk about the course, of course.
Yeah, 10 of the top 30 in the World Golf Rankings are in the field, and Torrey Pines is a place where I have played the North Course, which they will use one of the days. They'll alternate Thursday, Friday, North and South, and then you make the cut after the 2 rounds, and the Saturday, Sunday rounds are both played on the South, which is where, of course, they've had the U.S. Opens in 2008 and 2021, won by Tiger Woods and Jon Rahm. The North Course plays a lot shorter, about 7,258 yards, par 72. The South is a beast, 7,765 in yards, par 72. Of course, for those U.S. Opens, that's down to a par 70. So that's a real bear. William P. and William F. Bell, a father-son team, designed both the golf courses back in 1957. And the South Course typically plays as the longest course they'll see on tour. That doesn't include, maybe a major stop somewhere along the line. But you're going to hear these terms all weekend long. Get ready. Marine layer and Poana for the grass, because these greens are largely Poana. They had a redesign here back in 2019 by Reese Jones. They got 4 par 5s, 6, 9, 13, and 18. And the 9th is over 615 yards. 13 measures 621 yards, and the 18th is 570. The 4 par 3s, 3, 8, 11, and 16. 11 is 225 yards, 16, 227. And the 3rd, which is behind me, is one of the most scenic spots you'll see on the PGA Tour. If you play this golf course, there's also a similar hole, which I think is on the back 9 now on Torrey Pines North, but a very similar looking hole. It's a par 3. That's where you get your pictures taken. If you play these golf courses, it's just a beautiful spot. A lot of the architect geeks rip on Torrey Pines South. They say there's nothing spectacular about it. If it weren't by the ocean, nobody would care. And maybe that's true. I don't know. But the fact is, it is by the ocean, and it's freaking gorgeous. Okay.
That's right.
But the 18th hole is a very interesting. I mean, you got the 12th is we'll start with 12th, a really long par 4, 505, bunkers and deep rough down the right-hand side. Really tough hole. 13 is that long par 5 coming back off the ocean. They put a tee box way back there, like almost near where those hang gliders go off. and with a big raised green complex, sloping fairways, brutally tough par 5 as par 5s go. The 14th and 15th are tough par 4s. Canyon on the left on 14. There's slight dog legs. Over the green on 14 is Death. 15, slight dog leg with a green that bends hard right to left. And then you get to the big par 3, 16, with the green slope back to front, back into the sun. It's awesome late on a Saturday for the final round. It'll be great TV. 17th is a par 4 with the canyon up the left side with some front bunkers to another elevated sloping green. Then you turn left and you go 18th hole, which is a risk-reward par 5, large fairway bunkers on the left and right. And in front of the green, they added this sometime in the mid-70s, a little pond that has been named Devlin's Billabong for a situation that happened back in, I believe, 1975. This used to be called the San Diego Open and the Andy Williams Open. And an Australian named Bruce Devlin hit his second shot going for the green, onto the green, and it rolled back into the water, and he decided to play it. It took him 7 shots to get out of the water. And then he holed his long putt for a 10 on the hole. And since then, it's been called Devlin's Billabong. That's some good history for you for Torrey Pines.
The course, of course, is on fire this week with Harry
Exactly
Mays.
right. I told you, it starts this week, man.
Harry, and speaking of on fire, look who joins us on Swing It and Ding It, the world traveler, the PGA show superstar, Danielle Matthews. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. Sorry I'm on here late. What a mess. I don't know if you talked about it all. We were going to have facts on here, and we were supposed to, we were aiming for around 3 o'clock. But I'll tell you what, when you're walking around a convention center full of golf fans with Brad Facts every 3 seconds.
Good luck.
An autograph. I'm playing golf. Like, meet my granddaughter. I have a story. My uncle is from Rhode Island. And so every 3 minutes you get stopped and you have to take a second, and it's like, my goodness. So our schedule was about 2 hours behind schedule from first thing this morning. So it was just, It was tough.
Well, did you get good video and, some good content?
We got great content, and I spoke with the Scotty Cameron team because my putter, the cherry bomb, the paint fell out, and I was like, guys, and they were like, send it in to us, we'll fix it. So I was thinking what would be cool is a red, yellow, green stoplight, but I also previously to this season wanted the Eagles green. So I don't know, we might stay with classic red, or maybe we'll do swinging and ding it green.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So I just noticed Sebastian Maniscalco was on with, Bob Does Sports and Brilliantly Dumb, and he had a Italian flag on his putter.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I don't know if it was a Scotty, but
they were showing me they have somebody on staff who actually hand paints now where the little cherry bombs are. So for the Halloween edition, they did the Cyclops eye. They did the Korean flag on one of them. So, I have a 2.5 hour drive back to think about what I want on each of those. So I'm excited to send that out and get that putter fixed up, because I played a little golf over the weekend, guys. And
hey, now
I feel like I was rolling it pretty well. So
nice.
We'll talk about some of the stuff you saw. Anything jump out at you down there?
It is extremely overwhelming. Today is we went because it's demo day. So, of course, they're debuting a bunch of the clubs. All the manufacturers are there. So, of course, being there with Brad was mainly Titleist focus. But everybody's down there, and it's mostly outdoors at Orange County today. So we went to the convention center to kind of look around and try to avoid some of the people to get content. It is absolutely insane. I mean, if you have our Golf Spikes guy, anybody who may be there, we didn't have time to walk the whole floor, but any new golf product is there. And the funny thing is, you see FootJoy, you see Titleist, you see Ping, you see, Peter Millar, you see all these different things where you're like, I know those brands, but I'll tell you, there is minimum, I think it's safe to say maybe 50% of the vendors that I've never seen and never heard of or recognized. So I think, in terms of new products debuting, you kind of have to be at the PGA show, right?
So it seems like that's fully back, right? It seemed like after, during
Yeah.
COVID and after COVID, so you heard a lot of people like, I'm not sure if I'm going, but from everything we're seeing on social media, for what you're telling us, it's back.
Yeah, and I took a bunch of videos that I want to throw up on the Swingin' and Ding It Instagram and Twitter, X, if you will. It's a little messy looking with everything still being put up, but there were so many people there, and again, just being demo day, so pretty wild to see everybody that is out. It's like COVID didn't even exist. Everything is just back as it should be, and too many people in one convention center.
What are folks talking about down there? Is the Nick Dunlap story, a hot topic? Is the live topic still going on? What are you hearing from all the rumblings from all the folks?
Yeah, so we did demo day, and then after that, everybody was starving. So you go to the convention center, and again, you sit down, and it's, you're trying to chew your salad, and somebody's stopping to say hi because you're sitting with Brad the whole time. But the Dunlap was a conversation a little bit. But Moose, right before we jumped on, I sent you an article. I don't have it in front of me if you're able to read that headline to me, but this was a hot topic and something that I didn't hear yet because I was in the car around 5 o'clock this morning driving up here. So Yasir from Live Tour, essentially has a $79 million lawsuit against him for kidnapping, I believe murder charges, a few other things. So that is a topic that is being discussed, around the lunch table and around the convention center in the golf world right now. And that's something I didn't get to read too much up on, but if you want to read it.
Yeah, the headline is Live Golf Boss, $74 million lawsuit for destroying intelligence family, another red flag for golf's future. Yasir, who leads the Saudi PIF, faces $74 million lawsuit for allegedly harming the family of a former Saudi intelligence member. Sheesh.
At the orders of his boss.
Of course.
Yeah. Wow.
Brandel's going to have a field day.
Oh, I know. Eamon Lynch. He must be like just burning up the keys on his iPad right now, typing out a.
I haven't even checked Eamon's X. I haven't had time to do much today, but definitely was the talk, and the 9/11 storylines popping back up and saying, a lot of people did say, though, you're in Jay Monahan's position. What do you do if you go ahead and move forward with this agreement further, or if you end it and they kind of take out the PGA Tour? Like, whether it's me in this position, Harry in this position, or Jay in this position, what is the right move to do? It's almost a lose-lose situation, was kind of the talk that was circulating around.
Man, wild. It's so crazy that there's still so much that has to play out with this. We have no idea where this thing is headed.
Yeah, and I just heard today on the Golf Channel that Farmers Insurance, this is going to be the last year that they're going to be sponsoring this event. And this, they've been a staple advertiser for this event for I don't know how long, but a long, long time. And they've been a big force in golf, and they are just withdrawing apparently from golf starting next year. So add that to the Wells Fargo, the Honda, and now Farmers Insurance. I mean, the whole sponsorship world, is going to look vastly different next season, regardless of whether, there's a merger of some sort with Live or not.
Yeah. You hear that, Powers? It's a bunch of prospects that aren't spending money in golf that could be over with iHeart. All right. Make sure you write that down. Got to get his prospect list going. You know what I'm saying? Tremendous. All right. Well, Danielle, we were just wrapping up the Farmers Insurance. Actually, we weren't wrapping it up. Harry just did the course, of course, but
I thought the end of that sounded like a, in true Harry fashion, pretty detailed course, of course. So
I start getting really passionate once.
This is him. Like, Torrey is it.
Yeah, this is the start of it all.
But so listen, I like to read off some stats from our buddy Jeff Ulrich, right? Well, first of all, Max Homa is the defending champion. Luke List and Patrick Reed are on the list, right? Interesting. Jason Day has also won this tournament, I believe, twice, right?
Yep.
So it's funny because 9 out of the 10 winners have a start in the calendar year, but it's not necessarily about form because only 3 of those 10 had a top 10 in the new year. right? So it's really just about like guys that have been getting reps in. Here's the interesting one, right? Because you hear about the course, the south, north, north, south. 9 of 13 had the south-north draw of the last winners, but 4 of the last 5 started on the north. So it kind of like threw off everyone's numbers when they were like, oh, we got to take guys that start south-north. It's like, well, do you? Because, 4 of the last 5 actually started the other way. So pretty interesting stats from Jeff Ulrich, as he always does.
Yeah, and I know the weather's going to be good for the tournament, but leading up to the tournament, they've had days of rain where they've had upwards to 2 to 3 inches of rain that have soaked that whole area. So, you won't get the, the bounce or the roll, on your drives, but the greens will play soft. So guys that can really carry it are going to be at a distinct advantage, especially on the south course, which is long.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So let's see the line with our friends at DraftKings. I like Jason Day, right? So he was he was out of the, remember I said 9 out of the 10 started in the new year. He was the only one that hadn't when he won, which is interesting. He's got 7 top 10s. And his number's okay, right? It's at 2,500. So it's not, Xander, you can't touch him in this, which is interesting. No. I took him in the one and done because I'm like, I'm not taking him in any majors. You also talked about distance, so I like Tony Finau at 2,200. Homa's a little hard to touch at 1,200, but I see him playing well. And then I like Austin Eckroat for a top 5, 2,200. I think you could see him popping back up there. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, well, I entered a fantasy team, and a lot of those names you might find on my fantasy team. But I like Keegan Bradley in a top 10. Came close at the Sony. He was second here in 2021, and he was also second at the Sony last week, or 2 weeks ago. So he's playing good golf. Got a win late last year. Can drive it straight, plus 320 in a top 10. Luke List, who's won here before, got a win in the fall at Sanderson. He's made 8 straight cuts, won here in 2022 in a top 30 at plus money. Come on, plus 150 for Luke List. You mentioned Austin Eckroat, our buddy, top 30 at plus 225. He hits a good long to mid iron. There's going to be a lot of that coming in on the south course. Justin Rose has a win here and always seems to play well here. He's a good putter on Poa annua, believe it or not. He's won at Pebble Beach, which is another Poa annua golf course. Plus 100 in the top 40. And I'm taking Keith Mitchell minus 110 over Ryan Fox in a matchup.
I like it. Danielle, I think it's time to do a live Brandon tracker, and let's get an update on our boy Brandon Matthews. How's things going with our guy? How's rehab, and is he getting back to form? Is he going crazy, like, dying to get back out there?
I'd say happy medium of it all. Yeah. So as everyone knows, surgery October 31st, and has been slowly rehabbing per doctor's orders. And yes, he is going crazy. He's over it, wanting to play. So it was chipping and putting. We played a little bit the last week. He played his first full round at Ocean Reef, hit driver for the first time on Friday.
Nice.
It was a short course, so it was good. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's getting back
because he doesn't really swing real hard or anything anyway. So yeah, he's got a
Now, did he have a swing like a monitor out there to figure out how fast he was swinging, or not there yet?
No, and Harry, let's try to keep that away from him for now. He did have a lesson with Jason to make sure that everything is good and he's getting there. But I asked him, because I didn't watch him play Friday. I said, how was it? How'd you feel? And he goes, I didn't get after any. And I was like, well, good, don't, because we don't need you to get after any right now. Yeah. So he played Panther National today. So
that's the new course, right?
But he's still JT's course. Yep.
Right.
So he's definitely still if I'm cutting out here, guys, I see your screen going, so it's streaming or not, but I apologize for that.
Yeah, it's all right. It just popped out for a second. That's all good. All right, good to hear. Happy to hear. I cannot wait till he's back and getting some rehab starts and doing all that stuff. It'll be exciting. It'd be good to have him healthy out there, not dealing with all that crap he was dealing with probably for longer than anyone knows except you.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's had back issues for quite some time. So it's all uphill from here. So we'll keep you guys updated on all the progress. But yeah, he's back out there and he's slowly but surely. I think he said, Brad asked how he was playing, and Brandon said, I'm playing I'd be a great member guest as a 2 handicap. And Brad said, you still have to give me 2 aside.
Oh, Danielle, the other thing I wanted to remind you, tell your crew, tell the people that play in the Fox Sports The Gambler Swing It and Ding It Open. We're cutting off the early bird at the end of January now. So if they're going to join, tell them to hop in there. I think Russ Hartong deserves to come back and defend some of these titles, from the past year.
Harry, are you going to poach him or what?
I don't know. I don't know if he's available.
We talked about the John Shelton, Bloomfield, those guys. They were actually the winners. Team, right? Yeah, they were actually the winners of the tournament, but there were so many other contests that a little bit of that was lost. But those guys won it.
Maybe some of that live money will filter down to my group by July, and we can offer Russ a little change,
a little stipend.
Yeah,
I think he should have to play in the custom Robini suit that he won last year. I think that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Russ would miss it for the world. He left there a happy camper. So I think Russ is all in, whether he plays, and whoever he plays with. So Harry, you let me know, and we'll tell Russ. All right.
And that is the goal of the outing. I want it to be the most fun golf outing you play in all year, and that's what I heard from a lot of our folks. And it's funny too, because there's 2 or 3 groups already from the Legacy Club. Like, think about that. Those guys we pay at whatever we pay in dues a year, and they're paying to play in our outing,
to play their own golf course
because it's so much fun, right? It's wild.
Their own golf course.
Yeah.
And don't cut me out completely. I might kick Russ out if baby comes early.
That's right. Let's get that baby out and get you up here.
Well, let's induce in mid-June, and then you can be ready, right?
Well, Harry, you might have to pick up Gabby at that point then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That might be the free agent. Awesome. Good stuff. Danielle, I'm glad you were able to join. I know you were running around like crazy. I know your schedule's nuts, but we appreciate you making the time to hop on because, you got your ear to the ground down there with everybody. I was going to be
upset if I couldn't get on. I was like, I need to share some of this. Talk last week was crazy. I don't know if you guys already talked about that tournament or what, but I need to jump on and talk for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was
seeing some of the video that you shot and some of the stuff to put up on social media.
Yeah. I felt like, Danielle, that the Nick Dunlap story to me is like the story of the year. Right? It's going to be hard to, something crazy is going to have to happen for that to get beat. Just incredible.
So cool. And did you say that nobody again in our in our fantasy had him? Yeah, you did pretty good moves. Would you finish 3rd?
Yeah, which gets you exactly $0. I won as much as Nick Dunlap, who won the tournament, right?
But that's another long.
I was asking Brett that. I'm like, so wait, since he started as an AM, he can't even turn and
he can't go back and get the prize money.
You should be able to do it on the 18th before your last shot. You should you should have to say, well, you know what, I'm going to turn pro.
Right,
so sign the contract and make the putt.
Let me sign it, get a couple mil, And then
could you imagine
this week?
Yeah,
right.
Can you imagine what that feeling with a 6-foot putt? Now it was cool. He talked about Brett McCabe, he's already talking to a mental coach, all that. But I can't imagine. You're a sophomore in college.
Mm-hmm.
You just are about to take down Sam Burns and Justin Thomas
Xander Schauffele too, who played brilliant.
Right. Yeah, in a pretty big tournament on the PGA Tour, and everyone's around. Your family's there, and you got to knock in a 6-footer.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible.
Pressure is a privilege.
That's what he said. Yeah, that's the old Billie Jean King mantra.
Tremendous.
But
tremendous.
I'm probably about as comfortable as a pairing for him. With JT.
Yeah.
And Burns.
It's just comfortable pairing for him with what he's already won, the USAM and the State Am, right? So, he's no stranger to pressure. But, really cool story. Definitely going to be hard to beat.
But now that's 3 straight long shots in the winner's circle.
Right.
to start.
Yeah, it's been a wild start.
Yeah.
It really has. It's open for anyone to take it, right?
Yep.
And I think the other one too, Harry, I forgot to mention my matchup. I'm going to take Morikawa minus 130 over Ludwig Aubert.
Aubert, yeah. Okay.
I like Morikawa when you're out there in these courses on the West Coast. So.
Yeah, he's played well at this course, and I think he's going to have a big year.
Yep. No doubt about it. All right, great stuff, guys. Danielle, thanks again for hopping on, and we will be back next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out the Fox Sports The Gambler YouTube page. You can watch us on there. Follow us all on social. It helps us in the long run. So much appreciated. Talk soon.